So, welcome everybody. I've recently indulged in the Indicator sale, which has about 165 titles, I think, on sale, all reduced by a reasonable amount. And yeah, the sale itself is on until April 1st at midday UK time, so not much longer to get on it, but it's well worth doing so because there's so many great films that are available. Especially if you've rarely gotten into Indicator before, then yeah, you're going to have a whole host of great films to choose from. I've bought 8, 3 of which I've seen before. So we'll go through the ones I've seen before, and then we'll work our ways through to the ones that are blind buy. So yeah, the first of which is Body Double, directed by Brian De Palma. Released in 1984, 114 minutes long. The only person in it that I've heard of is Melanie Griffith. But yeah, you've got a great score by Pino D'Annunzio, and yeah, even though it's not Brian De Palma's best film, it's still a really, really good one. And it's definitely wearing its, Hitchcockian influence on its sleeve. And yeah, rated 18 because it's got quite some nudity and obvious violence that, is so typical of a Brian De Palma film. But still, a really, really solid one. Solid 4 out of 5 film. And then from Walter Hill, we have Geronimo, an American legend. Now this has a stacked cast. Jason Patric, Robert Duvall, Gene Hackman and Wes Studi. From 1993, 115 minutes long. And yeah, this is the limited edition version. It was $9.99 instead of $15.99 or $14.99, one or the other. But yeah, that means you get a really nice booklet to go along with it. And yeah, this is easily my favourite later Walter Hill film because after the 80s he had a bit of a downturn in his filmography. But yeah, this is definitely a solid one. And yeah, you got write-ups in here. And yeah, you got going for the crew, the cast. You've also got an early performance by Matt Damon in this. And you've got Kevin Teague. And I think they're the only other ones that I know of, to be honest. But yeah, still really good cast. And yeah, you got write-ups, you got a screenwriter and Geronimo, a film diary by Larry Gross, and yeah, shots from the film itself, as well as a critical response. So a really, really nice limited edition. And there's the disc itself. So yeah, really nice limited edition there, which is nice to see. And the third and final one is a Western from Bud Boddicker, who did a bunch of westerns in the 50s and 60s, usually quite short, and this is no exception, at only 73 minutes long, from 1959, Ride Lonesome. So, yeah, not my favourite Bud Boddicker film that I've seen. I certainly preferred Ride the High Country, and can't remember another one, but I definitely have preferred a couple more from him. But yeah, this is still a really solid western, and yeah, it's nice to see that a western in the 50s and in the 60s could be short and still a really rather good film, because so many westerns from the 50s were so much longer. So yeah, really solid release from 1959, and yeah, there's the disc itself. So yeah, really highly recommend that one. But now we have 2 more from Bud Boddicker, also starring Randolph Scott, and the first of those is Decision at Sundown. Now this is only 77 minutes long, so still under an hour 20, and yeah, again, starring Randolph Scott. Not heard of any of the others in there, and neither had I on Ride Lonesome either, to be honest, but still, Randolph Scott is a really, really good actor, and he's been in really several solid roles, usually westerns. And yeah, so this is from 1957, so a couple of years older than the Ride Lonesome, but still, should hopefully be a good film. And finally, from Bud Boddicker, we have another Randolph Scott-led film, Buchanan Rise Again. And yeah, this is the longest of the 3 that I've got, at 80 minutes long, but that's still really rather quite short. Comes right in between in terms of the year, it's 1958. And yeah, again, yeah, not heard of anyone else in this, but still short, and still should be good, especially since Randolph Scott is in the lead. So yeah, I'm been enjoying a lot of Bud Boddicker stuff lately, especially since a long time ago I got Ride the High Country on the premium collection from HMV. I was just trying to look for it, but there's so many other goddamn things that I can never find them easily. But yeah, that was a really good western, and that introduced me to Bud Boddicker. So yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest from him. So yeah, then we have Modern Romance, starring and directed by Albert Brooks. I have seen something from Albert Brooks before. I think it was Little Murders, which was a decent film, but I was expecting it to be better. But hopefully this will be even better than that. Not typically into romance films, but I think this is a comedy romance though as well. So yeah, it's got going that for it. 1981, 93 minutes long. So bought this purely on a basis of a recommendation from another YouTuber out there. So yeah, I hope it doesn't disappoint. Then we have from 1949. This is the oldest film out of the 8 that I bought, clocking in 82 minutes long. The Reckless Moment. And yeah, this is by Max Ophelis. I hope I'm Ophelis, or I hope I'm saying the name right. But basically a German director who this was his last American effort. Some people have said that's because it's not particularly good, but you know, he's got James Mason in it, who I've seen in several films before and enjoyed. And yeah, there's the disc itself. So yeah, I'm hoping it's good. Only 82 minutes long, so it can't be that bad, surely. And yeah, the plot does sound interesting, because as per usual when it comes to blind buys, I don't just, you know, buy it off the, you know, the cover art or whatever like that. I do look at the plot premise, I do look at the cast, the director, even the composer at times, so to see if I'm going to like it enough. And one that I'm surprised I haven't bothered with buying or even seeing yet, from 1965, clocking in at 107 minutes long, Bunny Lake is Missing. Now, I'm surprised I haven't seen this before, because it's got Laurence Olivier in it, and it's got a rare performance from Noel Coward, who I think usually was a producer. And yeah, it's also directed by Otto Preminger, who I've seen several films before and really enjoyed. And yeah, surprised I've not gotten onto this before, but it is apparently a film noir, or to that effect, a film noir. It might have some other elements to it, but yeah, still, that's the one out of the 5 I haven't seen that I'm looking forward to the most. And yeah, I'm hoping it's as good as it sounds it's going to be. And because I spent more than £50 on Indicator, not only did I get the shipping for free, but I also got some poster cards. Now, only one of these films that I have a poster card for I have actually seen. And the first of those is actually the one I've seen, Dracula, one from 1979, starring Frank Langella, Laurence Olivier, again, out of Bunny Lake is Missing, as well as Donald Pleasance and Kate Nelligan. That's a really solid adaptation of the Dracula story, to be honest, and yeah, I'm surprised it's not got a wider Blu-ray release. And then we also have Past the Hall. Now, this is one of the new Indicator releases. It's going to get released alongside the Columbia Noir number 5 box set. So, yeah, I will try this out when it gets released on rental, but it's not one I'm going to outright buy, not straight away anyway. Then we have Carnival Knowledge. Know nothing about that one, ironically. But it does star Jack Nicholson, Arthur Garfunkel, and Margaret. Decent cast. But yeah, not heard of that. But the good thing about these is that I can look into these films later on and see if I'm going to actually be interested in watching them. So that is good. And then we have Bullfighter and the Lady, starring Robert Stack. I think I've seen something from him before. But yeah, like I said, I am going to look into these films later on and see if they are going to interest me. And then we have Bert Lancaster in The Swimmer. I am a big fan of Burt Lancaster, but I have not heard of this one, so maybe I'll get onto that at some point. And finally, we have The Big Gun Down, starring Lee Van Cleef and Thomas Milan, who we've seen in a couple of films lately, in the Italian crime films from the 70s. So yeah, I might well track that one out as well. I don't think all of these films are even on the Indicator's stock list, so I'm not sure why they've specifically given those posters these art cards, but maybe they just had them hanging around and they just wanted to get rid of them or something. But yeah, still a nice addition, a nice bonus. I wasn't ever going to spend more than £50 just for those, but since the 8 eventually came to £58 and free shipping, then you know that's a nice bonus to get those art cards. But yeah, still really good sale, especially if you've never gotten into Indicator before. I've got a whole host of films from Indicator, as you can see on this shelf and there, and some more elsewhere. So yeah, big fan of Indicator, and that's 8 more to add to the collection, which is now totaling 960. So yeah, slowly getting up to 1,000, but I'm not any urgency to get there, especially since I am kind of running out of space, as you probably can gather. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.